I've been involved with barbecue, man, since I was a little boy, helping my daddy with his pit, cleaning everything out, lighting his fires.
I don't have like these cool barbecue stories. I'm kind of like Kirby. When I was growing up, it was like the grill came out on the 4th of July, Memorial Day. So like that was like the happiest days of like childhood right there. And I was just like, I think from that, I was like, well, I can't get more of this.
Why ain't we controlling this? Because we started it, right? So we got to speak our truths. And and that's how I got in the game. And I found Jeff, and we hooked up a few times, and it's been history ever since, man.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast. We're just catching up with the guys now. I'm Jeff Boyd from Outdoors with Jeff in Las Vegas, Nevada. And today, right now, we have Alton, the dog father from Dogfather's Barbecue down in Texas. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm kicking. I'm breathing. I'm on the right side of the dirt, so we good.
There you go, man. Hey, look, that just means you got a little bit more work to do, right?
You know it is.
There you go. Good deal. And we got Keenan from San Diego, from In the Smoke with Keenan. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right, brother. How about y'all, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, I'm like Alton. I'm trying to stay north of the concrete as long as possible.
Hey, trust me, man. I feel you, man. Look, every day is a blessing, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm happy to wake up.
Yeah. Hey, trust me. I know what you mean, man.
Hey, but wait, we got to flip the script. So, Jeff, how are you doing today?
Exactly.
Man, look, I'm doing good. Look, you see, I got my Harley shirt on. It decided want to be a little bit sunny today. It's got up to about 63, man. So I went riding this morning out in Red Rock Canyon, and it's good weather, man. So I enjoyed it, man. I'm doing good, man. Getting some content out there, digging into these reels, and getting it going, man.
Yeah, your reels are looking pretty good, man. I saw the one you did with the steak the other day, and I was like, okay. Gotta get some pointers from my man Jeff.
Hey, look, man, I'm telling you, dude, it was I sent it to a few of the guys, man. I need to put it in the group chat, but there's a app called VN that literally takes, as long as you get your video, you're good. This thing got transitions on it. As far as your background music, you can take anything that you got. It can take music from other videos that you've recorded or whatever the case may be. It's actually really cool, man. I've seen a couple of guys. I know Brandon's made one or two reels with it, but it's actually pretty cool, man. And the other thing with it too is they also have it if you're on the Mac. It's also where you can download it to your laptop as well. So I'm loving it, man.
You might have to get a hold of that from you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it out. Yeah, I'm going to send it out to everybody here in a minute, man, because it's a pretty cool little app, and it's free too. So,
hey, can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah.
That's all good, man. Yeah, I'm working on shortening my reels up. Like I throw some out there that I try to keep them no longer than 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, if that. I put it as a post on IG, and it goes across as a reel on Facebook. So. The last couple ones I did as a minute, it did pretty good.
Yeah, man. I think that's the thing with like this push on that everybody's getting to the short form content. And I'll say this, because I was hesitant to get into it, man. I love the long format and teaching cooks and stuff like that in YouTube. But the thing I'm finding now is the versatility that you kind of have with everybody using that 16:9 format, where you can take that and you can, like say, even with the Facebook Reels, with Instagram, with TikTok, everybody kind of has that format where you can just go ahead and take that and get across a few different platforms. So
yeah.
And the YouTube Shorts too. That's the other thing too. So. But YouTube has that where you can't use third-party music on it. They won't let you monetize it. So
right.
They get you that way with it. But
I know Shorts is kind of funny because you can throw one out there, man, and I've had some that, man, I'll throw it out there, and the first, I don't know, 40 minutes, to an hour, it might get like 9,000, 10,000 views, and then dead.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought like they won't let you monetize even if you use the music off YouTube, like that they provide for you.
Yeah, if it's a third party song like an artist or something like that, they'll let you use it, but you won't be able to monetize it.
Yeah, so I just use their stuff that they offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. The only thing I'm having an issue with, I mean, I wouldn't say it's an issue, is this, I had to go through that whole name change thing. And like before that, man, I was gaining some momentum, like a lot of momentum, man, especially, on IG, and it was bleeding over to my YouTube, and people was, finding me on Facebook. But it's like I had to go through that whole name change thing. And it's like, the last couple videos that I did with the old name, with the Keenan Just Felt Like Cooking, man, those were some bomb videos. But it was like, now it's like, I don't know how they going out there, like, to come up, Keenan Just Felt Like Cooking, but then it has like In the Smoke with Keenan. So, I think that's the little issue I'm having right now. And then I got audited. My hours got audited. I lost a lot of hours. Yeah, I lost a lot of hours, but I mean, it's just part of the game. I looked it up. A lot of people was just like, ain't nothing you can do about it. Da 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 da. So it's like, I don't feel like I'm starting over. You know what I mean? I just feel I'm just on the third down, a long third down conversion.
Gotcha.
Well, I definitely feel like I'm starting over. I'll tell you that.
Hey, but
you already started.
Hey, but you got some more content coming out now, Alton, don't you? Jumping back into the
we hoping to get back into it. You know the story with everything we've been through, and just got the great news from the doctor yesterday, and so man, we're gonna look forward to kind of getting back into creating some content and get back out there, man. So
hey, well, that's be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that is, man. Congratulations on that, man.
Sure, yeah,
absolutely.
Somebody that's working in healthcare, since he was about 15, you know what I mean. I definitely, like to hear the positiveness out of it.
Oh yeah,
and, I deal with a lot of people, and it's cool to see their progress and watch them get better, man.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it. And we're looking forward to it, man. I think we're gonna take the next week, do a little vacation, go and get in the sun and get that sand between the toes a little bit, and then come back, and it'll be time to kind of try to hit the ground running.
There you go, man. There you go.
Maybe try to revamp the videos a little bit. Maybe change up the format and how I do videos just a little. I don't know. We're gonna tinker around with it, see what we can come up with, man.
That's the funny thing, man, because you always find that you're always going to end up changing something. It's just, either something that you pick up or something that you see, or trying something different. And it's funny too, because your viewers will let you know what they want. Because I remember for a while there, I took my little ending part out on YouTube where I would recap and cover, what we did in the cook. Because I was like, I was making the video too long, and I had people jumping down my throat. Man, why'd you take that out? What's going on? It's like, okay, all right, fine, put it back in. That's an extra, 60 seconds to the video, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and put it in because that's what y'all want. So
I know when I started doing that and giving a recap and bringing the B-roll with what I was speaking to, and man, everybody loved it. And then I started looking at things. I'm like, okay, maybe the content's just a little too long. Maybe I can omit that. And same thing, man. Hold up, dog. Put that back in there, man. We like that. We like seeing what you did, and you talk about it, you show it in a condensed version, whatever. So you want to cut something else, cut that, but put that back in there. So hey, it is what it is. But like you said, your viewers will tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got my couple months ago, I put like my 300th video out. And
congratulations, man.
Yeah, that was a task, man, because for months I was putting out like 3 a week. and just to
Yeah.
try to hurry up and get there. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I wore myself out. And then once I got to that 300, I just kind of chilled, and just kind of let those roll. But I've been listening like the last time, like I was on the live with Alton, and then I listened to one of Terrance's podcasts on Spotify. I've been checking those out lately, man. When I'm just up chilling, and it was you talk about the one about like reinventing yourself and all that, and then I was listening to the podcast with Alton. I was listening to that at work, and then he's talking about focus on like what you want your channel to be. So it's like I'm trying to get it to the point to where on YouTube, I just got like all my barbecue stuff, you know what I mean? And leave it like that. I may throw a couple little things here and there just to get something out there. And then on like my IG, I'll just focus on more like if I'm cooking in the kitchen, indoors, just to try to get that differentiation between it. But I think, on IG, a lot of people kind of, recognize like, hey, oh yeah, man, where you been at? It's pretty cool. You back and all that. So they kind of know I do both. But and even on YouTube, because that's how I started my grocery store adventures, you know what I mean, with my kids and my son, and then I did it myself, and just building up the channel and just showing the versatility that that I got it within me. But now I'm just trying to hit that 300. I'm just trying to focus on barbecue, on just keep my grill on YouTube, and then IG could be for the other stuff.
I hear you. I got you. Yeah.
It's interesting, man, because I think a lot of us kind of have that thought process too, of the kitchen cooks. Because I'll be honest with you, even the videos that I've done that kind of tended toward that more so dealt with some sheet pan cooks that I did that were basically easy dinners with like, you get the protein and the vegetables and the starch all on one tray, and then it's like a 45-minute cook or whatever. And going back and checking the analytics on those videos, I saw I had a lot more female viewership than what I normally get. And that's the thing, man. When you look at it, it's like, hey, it's and that's the same thing. I mean, everybody knows the story about smoking and grilling with AB, where hey, he really ain't smoking and grilling no more. He's inside the kitchen, but he has you see in his comments, there's a lot more female viewership on that side of it. And it's just interesting, man. It's one of those things where you can really decide where your channel goes based on that stuff, so.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate, like a lot of that different content I put on YouTube, it got good response, and it still gets views. I'll be checking the analytics. A lot of my older videos, still get views. I got, all the snack little videos and all that on people blogs, into that category. And then my cooking, I got towards, how to. So, that helps out a lot. But it's just, I like doing it all. So, it's just, sometimes I'll be in the kitchen, I'll just start recording, man. It's, put together a little 1-2 minute video and do it like that. Yeah. Like that shrimp and grits, the picture I sent y'all, I was like, man, I wasn't even going to record that. And then I was like, you know what? I remember that Lamar wanted us to do a video for him. So I'm going to put together a little video and put that on there. See if I could get it down under a minute, you know what I mean? Without having it look all choppy or missing a step or something, or cutting off in the middle of something and going to something else. But yeah, I got it done. It came out good. It's just, something I threw together. I'm like, I don't see nobody put no barbecue sauce and shrimp and grits, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. No sugar. No sugar in my grits.
Yep.
Yeah. I threw some cheddar cheese on that bad boy, some black pepper.
Gotcha.
Man, I tell you what, that's one of those dishes, man. Shrimp and grits. I don't make it often, but it's one of my favorite ones to make.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun. I don't do the sweet grits either. I like my savory stuff. But playing around with it with some boudin and making a boudin gravy with some a little brandy in it, things of that nature, and kind of burn it off just for the flair. And it's a great dish, man. I've done it once. I did it once on the channel. I want to say the first year I did that video. I might have to go back and revisit that. Maybe something to do, play around with a short, with it. or a reel or something. But, you know, interesting. You were talking about trying to get down under a minute and all that. And I find that I see a lot of reels that people do, and they do fantastic jobs at them. But it's funny because even with some of these reels that, you know, let's face it, we all as viewers sometimes have a short attention span, you know, and we want what it is that we came to get. We kind of want to get it and get out type thing, you know. And I've seen videos, you know, reels and shorts that people are putting out that are less than a minute, but it still seems like it's dragging, you know, like it's, and I'm finding that, okay, it's cool that I'm seeing that stuff because it's letting me know that, you know, often it's not about the time. It's not about the time that you're building this content in. It's about the timing.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
the timing that you have and have all those pieces put together so that it flows well and it keeps that viewer engaged to where they feel like, dang it, it's over already, you know, versus come on, man, get to it, you know. So it's a delicate balance, you know, that we're trying to, you know, find a way through to figure out how to make some great content, keep people engaged. So it's going to be interesting trying to figure it out, man, and put it all together.
And to go back to a point you made when we were talking on the phone, man, that exact point that you just made, I kind of tie in with what you talked about with that YouTube preview.
Yeah.
Where now they'll let you watch that preview, you'll go ahead and get that, to where now it's like you said, it's not just focusing on a great thumbnail, but also, you know, you can kind of go back and try and get your money shots or whatever within the first few seconds to get people to really, you know, grab and engage and jump on that video. The same thing with these reels, because I've kind of gone back now and looked at the front side of what I'm doing on reels and looking at that first, you know, those first 10 seconds, because you can get in the rabbit hole. We've all done it. We've been there on Instagram and we'll sit there. Next, you know, it's been like 2 hours, but we done went through, I don't know how many 100 reels, you know, because it's like, you know, 3 seconds. Okay. You know, and just keep it going. So.
Yes, sir. And that's why I thought the one that you put together, you know, where you did the steak, I thought that was really cool, you know, because I've been seeing people do that where they come out and they do the ending, you know, give you the money shot, you know, maybe taste it or whatever and kind of give you that. Yeah, that's right. All right, come on, let me show you how I did it. And then you jump into it and you're prepping and, you know, getting the grill going, getting it on the grill and cutting and, you know, and it flows well and it looks fantastic, you know, and man, I got to tell you, we hadn't talked about it, you know, since you put that one out. But I got to tell you, man, I saw your efforts in it, man. I thought it came out fantastic. I liked it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's, you know, it's one of those things where, and it's, I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit easier too when you have everything right there on the phone and you can kind of just edit from there instead of because I don't mind sitting down in front of the computer, but when you have all that right there, you can just go ahead and do it as you're cooking. You know, because most of the time when I get those reels done, I'm usually done with the reel and the editing and everything, you know, by the time I'm finished eating whatever I cook, you know, so that's
I'll have to get that from you, man, because you know, I play around with some of the real stuff, but you know, honestly speaking, you know, I use the stuff that's on IG and I'm not super happy with it. You know, it's fun to tinker around and play around with it, but I know that I'm not using all the capabilities. You know what I mean? And I even watched the one that, you know, you mentioned Brandon earlier, where he went out here to Good Stock and he put that one together, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, it just looked good. It flowed well.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he did a great voiceover on it.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm like sitting there watching. I'm taking notes. You know, y'all look at me like, oh man, you got this big channel and got all this. I'm like, okay, these little young cats right here is putting it together, man. I need to sit here and take some notes, you know. And that's what I like about this whole Black Smoke crew, man. We all, you know, everybody's got a common goal. You know, we have a great, you know, deal for our passion for our craft. You know what I mean? And we all want to see each other do well, and we all help each other, man. We all learn from each other, and that's what, man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did my first tri-tip watching Jeff do his. That was my first time doing like a reverse sear, and you know, not, you know, I grew up like if it got, you know, everything had to be well done. You know, you chew on it till you get the flavor and then spit the shreds out. You know, but you know, I didn't drop my temps down, and I started realizing how much I missed in eating. Like, I rarely ate steak, man. I didn't, because if it wasn't like no carne asada that I knew was done all the way, then I wasn't eating it. So
that sounds like that 10-minute brisket.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. We don't need none of that. But yeah, so it was like, you know, watching that, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try that. And then that's when I did it. I think I did like a minute video on it, because it was just like a quick cook. It wasn't nothing to drag out and be like, I did this and this and that, to make sure you do this, trying to make it sound overcomplicated. And it was just a real nice cook. And I used the same technique on my first tomahawk that I did as well too.
Oh yeah. Those big thick cuts like that, man. For me, and I'm not saying it's, you know, the only way to go, but reverse sear is it for me, man. I mean, you kind of have the same concept doing a sous vide, you know, whatever. But I gotta have that smoke flavor, man. Oh yeah, I had that smoke flavor. Yeah. So you know, we were just talking about this. I was talking about it with a friend of mine at work, and I said, yeah, man, you start talking about these thick cuts. You know, you go to a restaurant, a lot of time they front sear them and then throw them in the oven, finish them off or whatever. But man, that slow, you know, just reverse sear. Come on, man, you can't beat that. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
it's like butter.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. It gets, and that's the thing, like, because I was used to, honestly, I'll tell you this, I used to cook steaks at work and for events, and I was normally cooking anywhere between 180 to 225 ribeyes. We had these events usually once a quarter, and with that, you know, I just got used to smoking, not even really smoking, but just basically grilling, smoking, whatever. But I'd use my leg or marinade, whatever the case may be. But when I started reverse searing, you start to see where you get the flavor that you get in that crust when you get that thing over high heat, and then just watching your carry over, and then I mean, it's totally different, man. It's completely different altogether. Yes, so when you can get that, and you can get some smoke flavor and that crust, that's it, man. And it's crazy because, like, even when I go out now, I mean, I always prefer my steaks at home.
Yep.
And it's the same way, you know, Jessica says the same thing. I mean, when it comes to going out to eat, it's like we really don't go anywhere to get steaks, you know, because we like it at home. So,
and we ain't snobs about it. We're not snobs about it. We just saying,
no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I get all appetizers when I go out. I get I get 3-4 appetizers. I had 3-4 plates in front of me. And,
but that's fun though. You get to taste a lot of different things.
Exactly. That's the whole point for me going out, is to try the little stuff that people will pass up. I'm like, a lot of that stuff I look on the menu, I'm like, I can make.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, man.
We do that a lot, man. Gene and I do that a lot. We'll order, you know, 4 or 5 different things, and so we tasting some of everything, you know, getting to check it out. Because like you say, you know, I know how to make a steak. I'm not saying that I make the greatest steak in the world or anything like that, but I do like what I make. And I have been to, you know, some great steak places that don't necessarily, you know, come off like the reputation, you know, is. So I ain't trying to badmouth anybody, because, you know, the next person might love it. But for me, it was like, I kind of like what I like doing. So, you know what, let's try some of this other stuff, you know. So that's what we do.
I did order my first steak out though on when we had our anniversary at a little casino out here, and it had a little deal with a hanger steak, and I ordered a medium. And that was my first time ordering a steak medium out, a hanger steak, first time even eating that cut, and man, it was amazing.
Hanger steak.
I ate it all before I took a picture. Yeah.
So hanger steak is great, man. It's one of those cuts that you don't really hear about, you know. You know, I learned about it some years ago from work, but you know, when you first get it, man, it's like, that thing, it's got great flavor in it. It's got great flavor and it's tender. And it's one of those things, man, where it's like, cause don't get me wrong, I love a ribeye, but when it comes to actual flavor, and I'm not talking about just because we know we get a lot of flavor from the fat in the ribeye and the marbling in there, but like just overall beefy good flavor. Yep. I'll take a hanger steak, and I'll even take tri-tip over ribeye when it comes to the flavor side.
What you talking about, Jeff?
Hey, see, now look, me and I got in a fight on another podcast with somebody about this. Look, if you go back and see the number of tri-tip cooks I got on my channel, I love some tri-tip, man. I mean, it's got a good flavor. It's got a good flavor to it that, you know, that really has a beef essence to it. You know, the ribeye has the richness in a sense, but that beef that you get from a tri-tip and definitely a hanger steak, man, I love it.
I just think it's funny because there's so many people making tri-tip, and you see just how many people out there don't know how to cut it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know, I'm like, man, you just made this beautiful tri-tip and then you just killed it.
Yeah, cut it into jerky.
Sitting there chewing on it for 2 hours. You know,
the first time I did a tri-tip, I bought a double pack. They was on sale for $2, and I'm out there on the little charcoal grill, and man, I seasoned one with like an Asian marinade and marinated in like this Asian sesame salad dressing. I'm like, well, if my grandma measured, you know, marinate stuff in salad dressing, this should work. So did that, bam, came out amazing. And I was like, I cooked it, and I'm like, all right, it's still a little pink in the middle. This is before, you know, I got converted. So I wrapped it up, and I threw it in the oven at like 300, and messed around and forgot that I had it in there. And I said, oh man, the meat. So I took it out, man. And it was cooked all the way through, but I guess it was just a lot of fat in it. And man, it was like butter. I couldn't believe it. So I'm thinking that's how tri-tip got to be all the time. And, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it like that. Flash forward a few years, I try to do another one. And when I'm just trying to learn how to do this, work this electric pit that I started my channel on, when I'm just trying to figure it out, I threw some wood in there, didn't know nothing about a water pan. Meat come out black and sooty, tasting bitter, you know, like bark. I'm like, oh man, we need to boil this all over again and cook it down in some tomato sauce, because this ain't the business. And from that, I took the pit and I put it up, and I didn't touch it for like 5 years.
Oh wow!
And when I started my channel, that was probably maybe a few months of me, because I got on YouTube and researched, because I had an electric smoker. I'm like, how do I use this? I got it. It's brand new. I don't know how to use it. Started researching. Then I water pan, figured out about a water pan. Oh, you could put stuff in there and flavor the water.
Oh yeah.
It's been on, started the channel day before my birthday, you know, and I've been having fun with it, man. That's all.
That's the name of the game, man. It's just have fun with it. You know, there's no one way to cook barbecue, man. You know, everybody's got their preferred way that they like to do it, but that might not be your preferred way. You know, you got to find, and I think I say this, you know, many times in my live streams as well as some of the videos, and I'm like, dude, you just have to find what works for you. You know, the way that I cook this or whatever, you know, yeah, it might look easy to you, whatever, but it might not be the method for you. So do what works for you. Have fun with it at the end of the day. You know, don't be so technical about it. Don't think, you know, if you're in the kitchen, think about it. When you're in the kitchen cooking, you're cooking. You ain't overthinking things. You know what you got to do. You know what flavors. If you don't have a recipe, you know what flavors you like. You know how to put things together and make it taste good. It ain't no different outside on the pit. The only difference is you're using a barbecue pit or a grill or whatever, and you're having the fire element where you have to maintain a fire. That's really the only difference. Cook. Yeah. You know, just cook and have fun with it.
That's it, man. Yep. That's it. And you're right. Everybody has their own spin on it. You know, and that's the funny thing, because all these things, you know, we talked about it before in another episode, but all these things, just about everything's been done before. Nobody can really say they're creating a method or whatever the case may be.
Oh, they can say it.
They can say it. That doesn't mean they invented it. But all these things have been done before, but even like the small things, like you just talked about, using the water pan and putting stuff in there for flavor. And one of the things I saw in your video, something I used to do, same thing when I had my offset, was where you had that onion in the firebox. Yeah. And I mean, you get that little bit of that extra bit of flavor with it, man, where you get that in there. And even when I'm doing direct cook, sometimes I'll take an onion, just throw it right there on top of the coals, man. You'll get a whiff of flavor. And now they're bagging up Kingsford, and these other folks
I got that Kingsford.
Exactly, same thing. They're putting it in charcoal now.
Yeah,
so it's like, hey,
thumbs up
they're
to
making
that.
money off of it.
I don't care what y'all say. Hey, them things work amazing. They do not taste bitter. They do not taste. Man, I throw one or two of them bad boys on the coals. Man, it smells amazing outside. Like, man, it'd be all kind of stuff flying around in. I'd be scared to go outside because there'd be so much wildlife circling around my patio. And but I like them, man. I love those things. And I haven't did the onion thing yet. Yeah, I haven't did the onion thing.
Do it.
So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna do
it. For me, man, when I walk out there and you already have your meat on. If you got brisket on or ribs or whatever, you already have that meat smell. But man, when you get that post oak burning and you get some onions in there, it gives off this aroma. You just know whatever it is you got on there is gonna come off good.
Yeah,
I don't care what you got on there. You cannot even have any meat, bro. You could be doing an all veggie cook. Yeah, and you just know when you smell that post oak and that onion, man. It's something about it, man. It's something about it.
Yeah.
I can't get post oak out here, or at least I don't know where.
Hey, Keenan, let me tell you that, man, because look, coming from Georgia and then moving clear across the other side of the country, I'll agree with you on that. It's hard to get out here, but you can find a source for it. I used to get my stuff from Academy, and I could get post oak splits and definitely the wood chunks. We don't have Academy out here, so I got a wood guy now that I go to. But you got to try some post oak, man. It will change your barbecue life, man.
Yes, sir.
And when I tell you, you don't even have to think. That wood can go with anything that you make, and it is mild and mellow enough to where it's not. We've all had. Everybody had a bad mesquite experience when they didn't know how to use it. Yeah. You can take this and you can load up on some post oak, and you're not going to get anything overpowering or whatever. It's a great flavor that just goes well with everything, man.
It's just clean, man. It's
exactly
really
clean. It's a spot like two exits away, and that's all they sell is wood. They got big piles of wood, but man, they be getting rained on. They be getting rained on. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know if it's in there molding. I don't see them spreading it out to let it dry. I'll just see it get rained on and then dry, and then rained on and then they let it dry out. And it's just, all in the dirt. I mean, I know it's wood, but it'd be like mud, and it's just, to me, it just don't look like it's the best spot, even though they've been there for probably decades.
Go see if they got a little post oak, man.
Yeah.
Just go try it.
It's a difference, man. And the other thing too. And the other thing too, Keenan, like the one thing I did find out, and because where I get mine from, the supply is so low, but they sell out to the barbecue spots on the strip. And what she was telling me was, and she actually is the lady that got me hooked on the almond wood too, because it's a lot of almond trees out here and everything coming from California, and that's what a lot of folks use to barbecue out here. And she was like, "Look, just try it." She's like, "I tell you, it's got a pretty decent flavor, but it's not overpowering." But the other thing that she said was, those folks on the strip, those pit places, the barbecue places on the strip, they'll burn probably, she said, about 25% of your cherry or your post oak or whatever, and 75% of that'll be almond. And she said it's one of those things where it doesn't overpower. You can get the flavor that you want from the other wood and then use that as your heat source.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, it's like, shoot, that's why I got a big bag of almond in the garage now. So, it's like, hey, it's one of those things, man, where it makes a difference. So it's just funny. You see the regional things, just like out here, you can, on the East Coast, it was hard. when I first started getting into tri-tip, it was hard for me to source it. And then out here, man, it's like you can find
like bologna
it on 7-Eleven or something, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's everywhere, man.
Yeah,
we're starting to have the
cut.
tri-tip like that at Costco.
Yeah.
You know, we can find it pretty much. It seemed like for a while there you couldn't find tri-tip out here like that. Now you kind of see tri-tip everywhere. Like, if they're gonna cook our brisket, damn it, we're gonna cook their tri-tip.
They do the tri-tip brisket style. That's what I seen. Yeah, I don't know about that.
They call it Trisket.
Oh man, that's what it. I forgot who did that. Somebody did a cut. I don't know if it was one of the cats that on the live. I forgot who did one. I mean, it looked decent, but I'm just like, man, that ain't got a lot of fat in it to be cooking like that. That's just my personal opinion. And take it from someone who used to cook it like that. You definitely know the difference. So that's how I used to cook them all the time. And then now, I'm like, I'm pulling that bad boy at 130 and letting it rest.
Yes,
and maybe 135 if I forget about it. But other than that, man, I don't cook them all the way through.
Well, if you make a well done steak, man, we can't be friends, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't, man. So before I got hooked on the and it was Brandon that got me. He was like, man, just do it, man. You got to do it. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna cook a steak at 130 and see what you're talking about. But before that, the only steak that I could eat with a little bit of pink in it was New York strip, because those is pretty lean. So I wouldn't cook. I would cook those all the way through. I'll stop it and be like, all right, that's good enough. It's pink enough in the middle. But any other thing, man, I was obliterating them bad boys. And now it's like, I didn't see the light.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you get the right amount of fat and the right amount of salt on it.
Man, ain't nothing better, man. I don't even need no sides. I just need the meat.
All day. All day. My side's gonna be a lobster tail.
Yep. I'm gonna have some meat with a side of meat.
Yeah.
Most of my cooks, man, sometimes that's all I cook, and they be like, "Where the sides?" I'm like, "Man, you gotta make some top ramen or something." Get to make you some top ramen or heat up something in the microwave. So we'll get some of them steamed vegetables. But I'm about to make a sandwich. So
sit there, finish that whole thing right at the cutting board, man. Don't even get a plate.
Man, who you telling? That's what I want to do, man. I want to start doing some of that stuff. Like you have like charcuterie boards. I want to start doing that with my steaks. Maybe they lay down a bed of polenta or something, and come with some steak and some vegetables on it and kind of make it look like it's supposed to look classy. I don't know if it's going to come out that way. We're going to eat regardless, but I don't know, man. I might have to play around with it.
Yeah. That's all good.
You know what you got to try, Jeff? You got to try doing live fire cooking with tri-tip.
You know what? I've seen a lot of videos on that, man. And that's one of those things, man, where when you get that live fire and that flavor from that straight wood, man, it's a totally different game, man. Totally. I did that
game. When the fellas came over here. I brought out my multi-tool, backline multi-tool, and we burned some post oak on it, and did some tri-tip, hung some tri-tip on it, and there's a lot of times, man, I'll string up some pineapples. We actually did put a pineapple on that day too, and put some of that Uncle Steve, the Uncle Steve's dessert shake. Put some of that stuff on there, and then I had some Treaty Oak Ghost Hill bourbon. We did that with that pineapple, man, and hit it with that flame. Boy, I'm telling you, that live fire cooking is so much fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's a daggone show right there, man.
It is. It really is, man. But the flavors you get from that, and then you heat up the plancha plate on there, man, and slap some tortillas on there and make you some tri-tip tacos, or whatever. And,
real quick.
Maybe, and even, keep it simple, man. Just make like a little simple chimichurri. Make you a little tri-tip taco with some chimichurri on it and get you a little bit of a pineapple on it. Just kind of give it a little bit of that sweetness in there. Come on, man. Come on.
That's one thing I haven't made was a chimichurri. I like it, but I haven't made it.
Well, our buddy down here, Al Fragoni, makes that dehydrated chimichurri that you see. You probably seen it.
I've seen a lot of people use it. Yeah,
Dude,
I've
that
seen a
is
lot of
so
people use it. They
good.
just add the vinegar.
Yeah, you add
Really?
whatever acid you want to use with it, whether it's ACV or red wine vinegar or whatever, and then
Yeah.
let that soak for 10 minutes or whatever, and then come with your oil. So you have one part of your chimichurri mix to one part your acid. Let that soak or whatever, and then you add 2 parts oil.
I
It's
seen
very simple.
Bama Grill Master on Instagram. He uses that a lot.
Dude, everybody's using that stuff because it's so easy.
Yeah.
You can sit there and chop up your herbs and make your own chimichurri. You can do that very easy. But if you're just making a little small batch or whatever, and you're just trying to get it hooked up, man, this stuff is great because you can doctor it up. You can add, crushed red chili peppers and garlic and onion or whatever you want to add to. You can add whatever you want to it. It just makes a really good chimichurri, man. And like I said, you slice up that steak or whatever and lay that on a bed of polenta or whatever, and get that chimichurri laid across the top of it, and it's just visually appealing.
Oh yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah, I mentioned that dude in one of my videos. I didn't even know who he was. It was the first time, and I was tripping off. Everybody jumped on it doing that frog style chicken.
Yeah.
I did a video doing 2 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, I said, yeah, I was watching Bama Grill Master, and he mentioned this dude Al Fagoni, and then I watched Kendrick Barbecue and seeing how he did it and all that. And the video did good. I just think it probably could have did a little bit better. You know what I mean? Because I did that whole frog style chicken thing before it got kind of popular. I don't think the timing was right on the video, but I seen it. I seen the technique on it, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I got 2 chickens in there. Let me do it. And all that. So I don't know. I might put together a short or a little reel for it and post it on IG and just put the link up there, just to get traffic to it. But yeah, I did that mess a long time ago.
So let me ask you this, man. So if because I haven't done that yet. I typically will spatchcock, my chicken, or definitely on my turkeys. I basically cook majority of my turkeys. I'll spatchcock them. Do you find a difference in the time on the cook or anything like that, or is it about the same? Or
it was about the same. The only thing I did wrong was I wrapped the chickens, and I shouldn't have wrapped it because then the skin would have got a little bit crispy. But I didn't want to dry out the breast. I had the breast kind of towards the hot end of the fire because I run that legacy like indirect. That's why I'm waiting to get that firebox to put on there so I could really, really learn the craft. But I run it indirect. I put my coals on one side and put everything else on the other and do it like that. And then when I want some marks, I just switch it over. But I thought it was the same. It was the same cook. You know what I mean? It wasn't no different. Everything cooked the same, but I shouldn't have wrapped them. And then that way that skin would have been a little bit crispy.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's everybody got? Anybody doing any cooks here for Super Bowl, or anything you got coming out on your channels about it, or anything cook wise, wings or anything?
I got dinner reservations, so I ain't cooking nothing. I don't know. I might go get some tacos or something. Go to Jack in the Box.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, man, sometimes them little cheap tacos good, so I ain't mad at them about that, man.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm not cooking either, man. We're gonna be on the road. We leave out tomorrow. We're gonna drive down to the coast and go spend the night tomorrow night down on the coast and check out the Super Bowl and all that. And then Monday morning we're gonna hop on a ship and we gone.
Gotcha. Hey, look, man, that is the absolute best way to travel. I don't care what anybody says. I will take a cruise over anything, man. You don't have to worry about, man. You can sit there and eat, drink, dance, do whatever you want, and not have to worry about the part of getting there.
Yes, sir.
I'll take that every day, man.
You can get lit. All you gotta do is walk back to your room, man.
Exactly.
That's all you gotta do. And you get to get on this ship, like you said, your food, your hotel room, your entertainment, all of that is right there, and you get to go see different places each day.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this comes with you.
Yeah.
And so, like, one of my kids asked me, so, well, why do you like cruising so much? And I said, for that reason. I said, and the fact is, like, if you go put together a trip, you got to put all the logistics together. And sometimes the hardest part of it is just trying to plan it all and trying to make it make sense and be financially okay, to do it. And you got to find out where you're going to stay, how long you're going to be there, what you're going to eat, what entertainment you're going to get into while you're there. There's just all these different pieces to it where this right here is a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
So I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. This time we're actually going to try to get some gambling in. I'm not, I don't like that pretty much giving my money away that I work for, but we're gonna go play with some slot machines or whatever and try to see if we can. Our goal is to try and get some offers. I know a lot of people that are getting free cruises, free balcony, cruises, free suites, free drinks the whole time. I'm like, I think I'm gonna try to see if we can score that, man. See what happens. So
good deal. Good deal. Look, and you got your next cruise taken care of now, right?
Oh man, dude, we got. Funny thing is, we have. I think we have 6 cruises booked right now.
There you go, man.
So
I get sick on them big boats, man. Them big boats get you sick. Man, no. I took a cruise in Ensenada, and they was like, "Oh, the boats don't move." Man, I'm in line, just hitting the waves, dishes falling. All that. I'm like, and I'm in the middle of the line. I thought you said the boat don't move. And I'm sitting there like in line, and then I end up having to run out to the balcony, man. But I couldn't throw up because I took that Dramamine pill, and you get everything you get from seasickness, but you just don't throw up. You get the headache, you get the nausea, you turn the corner, the room spins, and I'm like, I just want to throw up, and I feel better. And so that the ships don't move and they big, please, man. If a whale could move through the ocean, then the ocean could move that ship.
Man, well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, because I'm not gonna say they don't move. I'm gonna say that they are big, and you're probably less likely to get seasick there than you would a small, But anyway, I'm gonna say this: we were on this one cruise one time, and we did hit some rough water. And it was rough. And I remember sitting in the show lounge, and we were looking up, and you could see the lights just kind of swaying back and forth, because it was just that rough. And I guess people were getting seasick, whatever. And the the cruise director came on, got up on stage, and he said, "Hey, are there any kids out here?" The kids were like, "Yeah, we're here." He says, "Well, tell you what," he says, the best thing you can do, the ship is rocking a little bit, people are getting nauseous, whatever. The best thing you can do is eat peanut butter sandwiches. And they're like, peanut butter sandwiches? And he's like, yeah, eat peanut butter sandwiches, and you want to know why? And they say, yeah, why do you eat peanut butter sandwiches? And he said, because it tastes the same coming up as it did going down.
Yeah, see, me and homeboy would have problems.
Oh man, dude.
Oh man,
I'm good.
Crazy.
Yeah, I can't even get on the boat to lake. That's how bad I am. I'll be like, man, let me off on the bank. I'm gonna walk the rest of the fishing trip. I don't care.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm sensitive, man.
So you can't get on a plane either, then, huh?
I ain't been on a plane, man, since '95. Yep, I remember, man. I had on a Ben Davis jacket. I was rocking an afro. I was like 15, and had on a LA Kings hat, man. Walking to Houston Airport, man. Everybody thought I was Ice Cube.
That's funny. Well, I tell you what, Jeff. When we have this get together where we all end up in the same spot, I guess we're gonna have to do Keenan like B.A. Baracus.
Knock me out.
I know, right?
Knock me out real quick. Wake me up when we get there.
Yeah, Keenan just wake up in the spot.
There you go,
man.
There you go.
I'll probably be all right, but man, I ain't. I'd rather drive. Like I wanted to fly to Vegas, but my wife didn't want to fly. She wanted to drive. I didn't want to drive, so we just settled to local casino here, and it was nice, man. If anybody comes to San Diego, man, definitely check out Saquon Casino because some bad boys is on point out there.
Yeah,
good deal.
Okay.
Good deal. Yeah. Well, guys, it's been good talking. I tell you what, Keenan, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at?
Oh yeah, man, you can find me on Instagram, Not All Smoke 78. You can find me on YouTube, In the Smoke with Keenan. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook under my real name. So those who know it, they can find me.
Gotcha. Alton, the Dog Father, where can we find you at, sir?
Yeah, man. That's at the Dog Father's Barbecue, and that's DAWGFATHAS BBQ. The Dog Father's Barbecue. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Got a Twitter, but I don't know how long we're gonna keep Twitter, so we'll see. But yeah, come get at me.
Good deal. And you can find me at Outdoors with Jeff on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, somewhat TikTok too. Starting to get some more TikTok videos out there. But guys, it's definitely been great talking with you. And this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. We'll catch you next time.